a little bit on me again, I suppose. Well, that was a weird intro, innit? Hi, I'm just gonna talk to you a bit about me. So basically, like just to show a bit of rawness as to like what's going on, because you know people make assumptions and whatnot. So basically, when I got pregnant, I definitely did not plan it, did not expect it to happen. It just kind of came out of the blue. But I was in such a down space. I was so depressed and didn't realise. And like, I was just, yeah, really low. And I just was numb. And I was in a really, really low place. Anyway, so my little girl was like my little miracle that kind of came through. But just prior to that, a dog came through to help me as well, which is Ruby. See, I got something in my teeth. So then Ruby came along and she kept me here, basically. She kept me in this world. And it was something that I couldn't let her down. I agreed I'd give her forever home. So I committed to that and I would never let her down with it. So then that happened. Then, you know, I got pregnant. My little girl came along and I knew, I didn't think I was going to have, at one point I thought I was going to have kids, then I did, then I didn't, then I did, and I didn't. And then I was like, no, I'm just not going to do it. And then it happened. And I actually saw, the moment that she came through, I saw the vision of me giving birth. And I'd already seen her. So like, that was it. There was no like other way about it. Like, I was having her and that was it, you know? So in that moment, I still got something in my teeth. I think I do. Excuse whatever that is in my teeth. Oh, I need to get it out. Yeah, I do. See, this is just as raw as it gets, isn't it? You're just going to watch me get shit out my teeth now. There you go, that's better. So, yeah. So then... Yeah, so because I'd visioned it and seen it, it was just like, okay. And I've got to say, like, I've been through a lot in my life, and a lot of things that you would believe and a lot of things that most people would not believe at all, which is fine. I don't really care either way. I know what I've been through and I know my truth. And yeah, but I've never been quite flawed as when I got pregnant. Like, it put me in like a PTSD, like instantly. It was just like this, like for 9 months, or it was nearly 10. And I was just like, I mean, I might have looked it right from the outside, but I just couldn't get a grip. I was like, whoa. I was like, at that moment in time, I was in a caravan, but I was kind of like, the caravan wasn't completed, like nothing was right. It wasn't ideal because it's like next to a road. Like there was just a few things, even though the road is quiet and it's out in nature. It was just like there was just loads of things that were just kind of like, whoa, you know. And I was just like, yeah, it was doable, but it just wasn't ideal. And the amount of faith and trust that I had to put in to the universe, God, source and spirit was just unbelievable. Like, absolutely unbelievable. Me and the father, it just wasn't a thing. So it was just kind of me. And then long and behold, from that point onwards, the right people got put on my path at the right time and divinely held and guided, and I could not have done it without the people at the exact times that when they came in, and I thank them so much. So thank you a lot from me and from Amy. And I wrote down bullet points so I don't ramble, because it just came through. So it was like, yeah. And recent moments, it's like money has been so tight, because I've explained before that I'm doing this like free person thing, so I don't get like money for Amy or anything, and I'm trying to come off like system myself by starting up my own business and just becoming independent again. I've never liked kind of being like that, but I was so unwell and I didn't look unwell to the outside world either. Like my mental health, I had PTSD type 1, type 2, EUPD, which EUPD has been deemed to me and I think to others as unhealable. I don't have the signs of that anymore. I'm going to make another video on it. I haven't had another like check on it from a professional, but if I was to sit with one, I'm pretty sure there is, yeah, none of the signs are there. There's a slight bit of like PTSD that I'm clearing up with healing, but yeah, the mental health that I had was just like, if you realise what I've been through, you'd understand why it was so bad. And I still get judged on how I used to be as well, and it's just like I'm not the same person. But anyway, so this is why I bullet point, because I go off. Yeah, so that was why the system helped me massively for that, and I thank it for that. I couldn't have got through it without that help, but I've used it in the way it should be used for, is to heal. Do you know what I mean? To use that time off, to use that to get better, to heal and to make yourself better. And since being run over by a car as well, and the mental health stuff, there are only certain things I can and can't do, like my physical, I have physical limitations now, and I have like mental health limitations. I've healed loads, but I know my limits, and you know, you can heal all of this, right? And you can get to a really good point, but then if you abuse it again, you're going backwards. Do you know what I mean? You will be struggling again. I was like doing 14-hour shifts back to back. I was partying, I was messy, I was like loads, but it was fun, you know. I didn't realise I was covering up a lot, but yeah, like still, yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, so yeah, there's been like moments where like I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Like, how am I gonna actually do this? I know what I want to do in my business wise, but it's not up and running yet. Like, and I'm guided profoundly, like with every single move, and my intuition is like really good, and I know way more than what I say, and it's very hard. Like, it's very, very hard being psychic medium. I haven't been working on my mediumship recently, it's coming back soon. It's really hard to be like that, because you see a lot, and you see it but you see it from a higher perspective, right? And it's like, you understand a lot, and you understand on the depths as to why things happen, and you can see it, and you can, you know, almost predict things too. But it's difficult, because you're like, and that's where like the wise person becomes quiet. Do you get what I mean? And it's because it's like, okay. So yeah, like I've had to put full faith and trust in this, and the reason I'm making this video is to kind of like explain how much trust I've had to put in the universe, source, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, energy, life, yourself, your mind, body, soul, whatever, less of the mind. Yeah, basically it's like when I've like literally run out of money completely, and like no food, something has always kind of come through last minute, and I feel like people think that I kind of have money or something. Like I definitely, I've come from like a council estate, like we've always just had just about enough money, or anything is not like, yeah, you know. And I've had to just, and I used to like work my arse off so hard. The people that know me know I used to work really hard, and then life floored me and I couldn't. So the people that have met me at a later date, just, I don't know, must think that I'm just a bum or something, but I'm not. I'm actually doing huge inside work inside, because you need to heal from the inside out, because you know the outer world helps to raise your vibration and that, but to ultimately heal, if you look good on the outside but you've got a messy inside, you know, it's gonna fall apart at some point. The cracks are gonna show, you know, and they did for me massively. I had to go right down a few times. And yeah, so every time where I've been like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I've sat there and I've just had to come back to the present moment. And if you trust, and if you just know that if you listen to intuition, if you do the right thing, if you have the right intentions, and if you have good intentions, God, soul, spirits, or whatever, is not going to let you go hungry. Do you know what I mean? But you may have to go out and about and kind of like roam to meet the right people, bump into them, and like the same for them. what goes around comes around. Like, I've literally sat there and I'm like, oh my God, and someone just comes over and is like offering me like a pizza or something, and I'm like, wow, you know, like, God's plan doesn't actually want you to go through that. And I know the word God can trigger people as well, but use whatever word you want to use. And I don't mean God like a big man in a fucking cloud, do you know what I mean? God is us. We are God. Like, you're God, I'm God. Like, we are all one. Like, and but you may be put through, if you've done stuff from a negative space, then you may be put through quite a bit, you know. It all depends on your karma, past lives, this, that and whatnot. But if you have good intention, then the universe sees that, like, because you are the universe. Duh. So what you put out there comes back. Get what I mean? This is why I've bullet pointed, because I can go off. So, but once again, I cannot read my handwriting, but let's give it a go. Yeah, the power of prey. I'm going to do some lives soon as well. So every time I do a live, there's no one there, but I don't actually tell people that I'm going to be on there, but I do it and then I kind of jump off, jump on. So I am going to do some lives soon so we can just have a chat. And then I'm going to do some lives where we can do a little meditation as well. And I'm not going to go woo-woo spiritual on the first ones, because I know like some people just need to be introduced to like the normal stuff. And but then I will do some that are a bit more far out there for the other people that like that, you know. Yeah, so that was just like a little background on that. So like, oh yeah, the other thing is like, I was going so far downhill, then like the dog happened, then Amy came through, yeah, and then like my friend's dog had puppies, and I absolutely adored this dog, and I kept away from this lady on purpose, because I was like, absolutely not having a puppies, can't do it, this, that and the other, whatnot. No, but I had a strong feeling and a strong connection, and I was just like, I'm just not even going to think about it because I'll get upset, because in an ideal world I would. And long and behold, I just come out of my place and boom, like, she's there. Then I meet them, and then I see a video, and then I cry. And I know the puppy, because we all know each other, animals included. We all know each other on a soul level. And I remember her, and she's come to help heal my other dog. So my other dog's legs, she needs some healing with that. She's come to heal her. They know each other, they play. She's healing her stuff as well. And the older dog is teaching her. Now the dog doesn't feel lonely because I have the baby too. So they got like each other, which is nice. And then there's a big connection with the puppy and the baby, and yeah, so it's like, it's soul family. This is when you bump into someone and you have a real deep feeling, and you're just like, I know you, and it's a lot to do with eyes as well, but a lot to do with energy, and you're just like, it's a feel of safety or home. There's another one where you feel like you know them, and it can be a mixture, and there's some that can just be like full-blown past life karmic thing, and that's where lessons, blessings and teachings can come in, because it can be like intense and not for the good like way. And this is a test as well to see what your character is. You're going to now meet this person, had this thing. How are you going to be? Do you know what I mean? How are you going to be? Are you going to be aligned? Are you going to do it in the right way? Or are you going to be a bit of a mirror? Are you going to be a bit of a mirror? And that all depends on you. And that's to see how far you've evolved with your soul. Because at the end of the day, we are only as good as the absolute worst people. Worst, like, it's just their stuff, it's just their shit, you know. It doesn't make that's not actually who they are at their complete core essence. And we all need to raise up. So some people are very close to the new earth, and some people are quite further away. At the end of the day, the ones that are a bit further are pulling the others up and helping and inspiring and uplifting, and gradually we all ascend. And some people may pass away and die, and like naturally or whatever, like, or in different ways, shapes and forms, and that's the path that they chose. And then they then go through, they then can see everything, they can see what's happened, they get an aha, and then they're like, okay, and then they can some may not come back and some do, and then they come back into your soul family, and then you learn again, blah blah blah. So yeah, gone off on again. I was just trying to explain the trust. Like, I'm trying to explain that the trust that you need to have once you decide to set the right intentions is like, you will be tested. The universe will test you and be like, you say you trust? Yeah? You trust me? How much do you trust? I have been like in the middle of Portugal with my knees absolutely gone, stuck in a really shit space, a really shit physical space, had to walk away from all family, had to do, like just everything toxic, had to leave it all, and had to, my phone went wrong, my bank went wrong, I had no money, I had nothing. I had to make art on the street like that I'd never done before, and luckily someone like showed me the way, and I was like asking restaurants for food and stuff because I had nothing and no one to go to and no one to call and no phone or anything to call off because it all messed up, and I had to bounce about and volunteer a bit and get guided. I had to experience how scary it was to just be alone and alone and grieving people that weren't in my life anymore, and grieving people that actually passed too, and just everything whilst going through an awakening. Whilst, I know it sounds silly, but my hair, like, I'd shaved it off and it's quite a big part of me. I'm a Leo, it's my main. Whilst like having to deal with that, whilst like people had turned as well, and I was just out there in the middle of this deserty kind of terrain with my knees that had given up, and at one point no water as well, and I just pray. And it was just like, I have never been brought to my knees like that by the universe, like ever, like that. I reckon there's gonna be some punts with that. Like but yeah, honestly, that was just like pfft. And then I got through it, like, you know, and some beautiful people helped me, and like, yeah, but yeah, like, to get to that point was just like, I wouldn't change it at all. I wouldn't change in that moment, I would have, but like now it has made me, the stuff I've been through has just made me so much stronger, and we've all been through a lot, and it's just like, don't forget that, you know what I mean? Don't forget them things you have been through that have made you you, and you know, honor it, like, and do the healing, do the work, and put your trust in yourself, which is the universe. And if you want to do it, if you want to become a better person, if you want to shift and change, then do it. Yeah. Hey, Spirit. Hi, Spirit. You just woke it up. Hi. So, the baby is currently asleep. I'm gonna, when she wakes up, we're gonna go for a little walk and get on with the jobs. And yeah, and I want to do some like card readings and meditations on it too live. It's just difficult with lots of beings around. Yeah, rambling. All right, much love. Bye.